You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you might not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
So you're running out of closet space. The good news? You don't need to stop shopping. You just need to start selling with The RealReal. The RealReal is the world's largest and most trusted resource for authenticated luxury resale. Whether it's that mini bag that can't even fit your phone or those boots you never fully broke in, The RealReal handles everything from photography and copywriting to shipping and pricing. So you can just sit back, get paid, and make room for things that actually feel like you. And with 10,000 plus new arrivals every single day from top designers like Prada, Celine, Louis Vuitton, and Loewe, all for up to 90% off retail, you're bound to find something perfectly on brand to fill that extra closet space with. Plus, this May only, you can get an extra $200 to shop when you sell for the first time. Make room for what feels like you. Go to therealreal.com to start selling and get your extra $200 to keep shopping at therealreal.com. That's therealreal.com. Terms apply.
We have a sneak peek of a show that we would like to share with you right now.
That's right. We all know reality TV has become a staple in entertainment over the last few decades. And now there's a podcast that dives deep into some major moments and some of our favorite shows.
Spectacle, which is hosted by writer, comedian, producer Mariah Smith, is a documentary series about reality TV and the moments that push challenging conversations into entertainment and change culture.
Joined by special guests like the Great British Baking Show's David Atherton and the Bachelor and the Bachelorette's Jen Schefft Waterman.
Plus, your favorite commentators and comedians pop in to analyze these iconic moments we all remember.
Season 1 of the podcast covers reality TV in a way that has never been done before. From The Bachelor's problematic take on gender to the real world's casting for conflict, Spectacle unpacks the wild and hyper-real history of unscripted television one moment at a time.
So, we invite you to check out this clip of host Mariah Smith talking about the history-making moment for the production of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette.
Let's listen.
Give it a little listen.
Jen Schefft was on the third season of The Bachelor, given the final rose by Andrew Firestone. Shortly after they broke up, ABC chose her as the third Bachelorette. And from the start, she felt a give-and-take relationship with her producers. She remembers bartering with them for some time with Andrew in the fantasy suite. Alone time, off camera.
It was sort of like, if you maybe kiss each other for a little bit and give us, the shot that we want, and then we'll get out of your hair. I was like, all right, let's get you guys out of here because I just want to be with him, not everybody.
You would think being the Bachelorette was better than being a contestant. Instead of competing against 25 other women for a prize, you are the prize. But that's not how Jen saw it.
When I did The Bachelorette, all the pressure is on me to make a good show and to fall in love.
Dating multiple people at once didn't come naturally. It felt weird.
So for me, it was hard to pretend that I was interested in all these people when, I didn't necessarily feel that.
Jen did develop feelings for a couple of the guys. One in particular stood out. Jerry. He was a 29-year-old art gallery director from Los Angeles. During their whirlwind romance, they went to Cape Cod and Bermuda. They danced to a private band under the stars. Jen felt a spark with Jerry, but she wasn't gunning to marry him. And the producers did not like that. They tried to convince her that she was making a big mistake.
They were like, people are invested in you. They want you to find someone. If, maybe you need to be less shallow. Maybe they didn't tell me what to do, but they tried to beat me down and tried to make me feel like I was just gonna be looked at as the worst person out there and very cold and unfeeling and bitchy. So if you don't choose someone, that's what's gonna come across. And I don't think that's what you want, right, Jen?
Keep in mind, The Bachelorette is made in seclusion. Jen's not allowed to talk to friends or family, people you normally bounce big decisions off of, like marriage. She was around producers all day. She confided in them, talked to them like friends. But they were not her friends. They were making a show. A competition show that is orchestrated to end in two people getting engaged. By not wanting to choose anyone, Jen was blowing it all up.
But I really feel like they thought I was going to end the show because the show is about finding a love connection and I didn't find it. So that was really bad for the show.
So she gave in.
I didn't want to be with anybody on that final show, but I was like, okay, I'll pick Jerry.
Jen chose Jerry, but they didn't get engaged in the final rose ceremony. It was more of a commitment to continuing their love story outside of the show. But after the finale, ABC aired its After the Final Rose special, where Chris Harrison brought the couple back to dish on the season. And Jerry got down on one knee and proposed to Jen. And Jen said no.
I was called old maid of the week, or people like Elizabeth Hasselbeck on The View saying that I was going to be a bachelorette for the rest of my life.
It all sounds pretty sexist. But to be fair, the tabloids weren't nice to Bachelor Aaron Berge either. He was the Bachelor all the way back in season 2 in 2002. They accused Aaron of being a serial fiancé. He remembers being accosted by a mother and daughter at the doctor's office. They were angry that he broke up with his final pick, Helene.
And I just stuck my hand out and just said, "Hi, I'm Aaron. I don't think we've ever actually met." And just doing that was enough for them to be like, "Oh my gosh, we were so sorry. We don't even know you."
That's what you get when you sign up to be the Bachelor. Strangers calling you out, questioning your choices. But what about questioning the show? Like how it puts marriage on a pedestal, or why it allowed a white supremacist to be cast as a contender for the franchise's first Black Bachelorette. And why does it perpetuate this idea that wanting sex makes you a slut? If we're being honest, the patriarchy is as much a part of The Bachelor as the rose ceremony. The show has long promoted that marriage is the ultimate prize for any woman. Women wait nervously for those roses.
Andy, we just said this rose.
I feel like Hannah Brown's season from 2019 was a watershed moment for the show. She was a woman of faith, but she'd call out BS when she saw it. She exposed the shame the show had around sex.
So, I have had sex.
Say what?
Yeah. And Jesus still loves me.
It promotes this idea that sex should be saved, that it's sacred. But for the majority of Americans, premarital sex is the norm. It's like the mansion is frozen in time. For much of its run, the franchise has been pretty homogenous. White, conservative, and for a while, evangelical. It's kind of a running joke that people of color on the show don't make it far. Just like horror movies, they're killed off fast. Back in 2016, Splinter News reported a Black contestant never made it past 5 weeks on The Bachelor or Bachelorette. It took 15 years before the franchise chose a Black lead.
Yes, our new Bachelorette is Rachel Lindsay, making her the first Black Bachelor or Bachelorette in franchise history.
Rachel ticked every box. She was an attorney, came from a great family, and she's gorgeous.
I think it's absolutely accurate to say that Rachel needed to clear so many hurdles in order to be considered perfect enough to be the first Black woman cast as a lead on a Bachelor show.
That's Emma Gray. She co-hosts Here to Make Friends, a Huffington Post podcast about all things Bachelor Nation.
Women of color on this show are certainly held to a higher standard than white women are, 100%.
With that season, it was clear behind the scenes was not led by people of color, especially when a white supremacist made it onto the show.
When you have a bunch of white people making a show, and then they're like, yeah, diversity, representation's great. We just put this Black woman in our show, cast a few more Black men than we normally would, but we have to talk about race. So, hey, maybe we can talk about race by traumatizing this woman and putting a racist in front of her to date her.
The lack of diversity on the production side is the show's Achilles heel.
Make sure you check out Spectacle, an unscripted history of reality TV, the new documentary podcast series from Neon Hum Media, hosted by Mariah Smith.
It's available everywhere, and you can subscribe and download and give a good little support to Mariah Smith and her new podcast.